talk about the road test. Now here in Michigan, we do have a graduated licensing law. So if you're 14 years and 8 months, you can take a segment 1 class. It's 24 hours of classroom, 6 hours of driving. You complete that, then you can go off and get a level 1 license. It allows you to drive with any licensed driver over 21. When you've had that for at least 3 months, 30 hours of driving, 2 of those at night, you can take a segment 2 class. The segment 2 class is 6 hours of classroom. So it's 3 days, 2 hours a day. When you've had 6 months experience at level 1 and completed segment 2 and have had a total of 50 hours, at least 10 at night, you can take a road test. Okay? Now, if you're 18 or older, you go to the Secretary of State office, get a temporary instruction permit, and then you have to wait a month, and then you could take the road test. So the road testers are private businesses that have gotten into road testing. So there's 3 separate tests to take the road test. The first test is a vehicle inspection. They're going to look at your brake lights, your horn has to work. They're going to look at your paperwork, make sure you have a current insurance certificate, a current registration form. Your tires, you have to have enough gas in your vehicle. There's a whole list in the road test study guide, a list of items that you might want to look at before you pull in there to take the road test. So this is a pass or fail. If you pass it, then you can do the parking lot test. So they have these cones set up, and you can get 6 points. You get 7 for this test here, and you fail. So they're going to have you pull up here. You're going to pull up here, and you're going to stop within 2 feet from this white line. So your front bumper has to be within 2 feet. And they used to have it to where you had to pull up there and do 1 complete stop. In the road test study guide, it doesn't say that. So that means that if you want to pull forward, stop, you could actually do that. Now, you can't shift gear. So let's say you go too far, you go over the white line, and you put it in reverse, you're going to get a point, you back up and park, you've got 1 point. So if you go too far, just put it in park, honk your horn, take the point for going over the white line. Then you're going to, after every maneuver, you honk your horn. Then you're going to back up, 2, 3, 4 feet. Don't back up very far. So this is the back of your car. You need to back into an imaginary parking spot. You turn the steering wheel fast to the left. So if you're in reverse and you want the back of the car to go to the left, you turn the steering wheel to the left. You go slow with your speed. If you release your brake and go rolling back 3 or 4 feet and then turn the wheel, you're going to be hitting all these cones here. So when you're at your point of turning, I would probably just stop, dry steer it. Dry steering is turning the tires when you're not moving. The ideal situation would be to just go really, really slow with your speed, crank the steering wheel fast. You're going to swing out, and when you're straight, you straighten up your tires, turn the steering wheel 1 1/4 turns, and you go straight back. And you need to get your back bumper within 2 feet from this cone. Put it in park, honk your horn, and then you pull out here to do the parallel park. So when you pull out here, you're going to want to position yourself to where you're right about there. So your back bumper, that's your back bumper, is even with these cones, and you're approximately 3 feet from this imaginary car. So imagine a car right there. It's the same thing, it's backing in here. Pretty similar. Go slow with your speed, crank it fast to the right. You swing out a certain distance. Now the distance that you swing out is determined by the length of your car. If you have a long car, don't swing out as far. If you have a short car, swing out more. If you're close to this curb, imagine this is a curb, So if you're close to the curb, don't swing out as far. If you're far from the curb, swing out more. And the point that you turn from. So if you, let's say your back bumper is, so here's the two cones. If your back bumper is here, you're going to want to swing out less. If you start out with your back bumper here, you're going to want to swing really far out. I mean, the one thing that's going to change is the distance from the curb. So you're always going to have the same length car. You can always line up your back bumper, so those could stay the same. So really it's just how far you are from the curb. So there's books that say swing out 30 to 45 degrees. I'm fine with that, but the main thing that determines how far you swing out is the length of your car, the distance from the curb, and the point that you turn from. You then straighten up your tires, and you go straight back. If you swung out the correct distance, this is where you will end up. Your front bumper will be even with those cones. Your back bumper will be a couple feet from the curb. Stop the car, crank fast to the left, swing it in. Just leave the tires turned, put it in park, honk the horn. Again, you can get up to 6 points for this. Let's say you do swing out too far and you hit these cones back here. Again, just put it in park, take the point for hitting the cones. You can get up to 6 points. If you pass this, you get to go out on the road. Now they are actually looking at your speed, your steering, your searching. Let's talk about speed. Speed is the main reason why people fail the road test. If you go 4 miles over, they warn you. You do it again, you failed. 10 miles over, it's an automatic failure. And I can see that happening. I mean, you're going 55, you don't see the 45 sign, you just failed. Or you're probably more likely to fail because of going down a hill. Let's say the speed limit's only 25, you're going down a hill, you better be pushing on that brake pedal. So you might want to keep an eye on the speedometer. You might even want to know what the speed limit is in the area that you're going to be taking the road test. Steering, they don't care how you turn. Okay? I mean, you can't palm the wheel. So do hand over hand, or you can do the push-pull, whatever you want to do. You do have to turn from the correct lane. So let's say, the tester wants you to go straight unless they tell you otherwise. So let's just say that you're in a right turn only lane and you go straight, you fail, which you probably should. Steering, if you hit a curb, you fail. Again, if you're hitting curbs, you probably should fail. So I don't think steering's that hard. Searching, so when you're driving down the road, driving up to an intersection, what they say to do is to turn your head so the tester knows that you're looking. Maybe every so often look in your rearview mirror. Of course, when you do a lane change, you look in the side mirror, you check your blind spot. Or if you're going to the right, side mirror, check your blind spot. You're stopped at a stop sign. Let's say you're taking a right. You're looking back and forth. When you start going, look again the opposite way and then back to where you're going. If you're going straight across, you stop looking. When you start going, look again one more time. Left and then right. You should be doing that anyways. So searching shouldn't be that hard. Apparently the whole test takes about an hour. The actual driving part, where you're out there on the road, is approximately 30 minutes. Hope you like this. If you like it, like and subscribe, and do what you can every day to reduce traffic fatalities. Thank you.